okay out there? I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays are stories that I like to bring to you. I am doing this live, but once I start the story, I don't stop. So don't worry, there's not like a chopping and changing during the story, but it does go up without the live chats at the weekend. So if you do want to wait till then, I understand. I'm also over on the TikTok. I think it's Jess Rose 5472. Or you could subscribe. I'd love that. Or finally, what is that? What is that you can do? You could just watch. I'd appreciate that. That'd be amazing. So I'm just gonna have a quick chat with the guys in the live, and then I'm gonna start the story. So give me a second. Hi guys, hi sis, hi Hayley, hi Phil, how are we all? How are we all doing this evening? Are we all okay? What we up to the weekend then, guys? What we up to? We got any plans? We got anything we got going on at the weekend? I'm good. Hey Warwick, how are you? Why didn't you reply today? Where was you today? Oh, I'm terrible, aren't I? He's like, got a life, Jess. Can't just reply just when you want me to. But you normally do. That's why I'm asking. Anyway, I was also asking how we're all doing, how we're all doing and what we're doing the weekend. Yeah, Warwick. I'm so nosy. It's just ridiculous. I don't know if it's nosiness or just needing attention at all times. It's just ridiculous. It's all about me. Working on Saturday, there he is. You are a busy bee, Phil, I tell ya. You're very good. No, why do you say you did when you did? When did you reply? Because I checked. I don't know. It's got to have been about 5. Am I lying? It might be 5, 4. It might have even been 4. So it was after that, maybe you did. I'm sorry. All right, I take it. Do you know what I need to do? I need to double check you haven't responded before I give out to you on the live. Going to Tiff's tomorrow. Excellent. Are we drinking the alcohol? And yes, you are with me on Sunday. You commented first. I've got Tiffany commented first on today's. Yours isn't on there, Warwick. Tiffany, I've got Tiffany and I've got Phil. Oh, I wonder what that's about. Definitely on today's. Because, yeah, it's only showing Tiffany's and Phil's. Unless it's me. Yeah, see? That's no, I think... Oh, you want... yeah, but what are you two on about, Hayley and Tiffany? Are you on about today or are you on about just now? I'm on about on my actual post. Because I've got Tiffany commenting first and then Phil, but I haven't got anything from you. Yeah, I know. Don't know what's going on there, Warwick. Don't know what's happening there. No, I'm on about on the post, Hayley. But, yes, Tiffany was first this evening, though. Anyway, it's no bother. I'm giving out at him for no reason. Absolutely no reason whatsoever. It's still on my phone. Isn't that weird? I don't know what that is, Warwick. Because I didn't see it, and now Tiff's saying she didn't see it either. So I don't know what that's about. Why that didn't show up. But anyway, thank you for commenting. Anyway, I do appreciate it. I'm posting out tomorrow. Tell me what it is. I think YouTube is out for Warwick. I think it's out for Warwick and me. I think me and Warwick are on the what's the word? On the thing. On their list. Whatever the list is. No, I would never blank Warwick. I got to admit, I didn't reply to Phil or Tiffany either, which is really naughty. But I did like and put a heart to it. But It was crazy school run and everything else. It was all mental. When I work a Saturday, I have Wednesday off, so it's still a 5-day week. So I had yesterday off. Oh, okay. Okay, so Wednesday was your weekend. So did you do anything nice yesterday, Phil? Hayley, tell me now. Tiffany, do you know what Hayley's on about? Look at my poor elbow. Look at it there. He's getting the same tomorrow, but she isn't allowed to tell you until you see yours. Oh, I'm very excited, Hayley. But I told you I'm a control freak. I need to know YouTube naughty step. I think you have, Warwick. I think we're both on the naughty. That's the word I was looking for, naughty step. I think we're both on there. I think that's what's going on. I don't know why. I think we're very good on the YouTube. I think we're on here a lot. We give them lots. I don't know what's going on. Tiffany, you have to tell me. You have to tell me when you get whatever it is. When you see whatever it is. Or hear whatever it is. Whatever it may be. You have to tell me. What am I looking for? Hi, Jilly. How are you? Yeah, I believe it's me and Warwick are on the naughty step. On the YouTube naughty step. I don't know why. We don't know why. We've just been relegated to there, and we don't know what we've done. So we just have to see. But like, Warwick noticed, and then I'd noticed. I weren't getting any likes on my videos now. I'm not saying that I do as a rule, but Warwick had, and he wasn't showing up. And then I thought I'd do a self-like just to see, and nothing. And I don't know what's going on. They hate us. They hate our little group. And I don't know why. Well, do you know what it is? I'm not allowed to tell you, but I don't know what I'm not allowed to do yet. Okay. That's, you have to. You have to. But do you know what I think it could be? I think it's because I'm not censoring my words. Do you think that's what it could be? Because I'm a grown adult and I refuse to use the word grape and self-delete. I'm not using those words. It's ridiculous. I'm not doing it. So if that's why, and that's got anything to do with it, well then, what can I do? What can I do? I'm not doing it. It's an adult. It's not an adult channel. I was about to say it's an adult channel. Yeah, that'll be why. That'll be on a low. That's it. Everybody press like now. Yeah, press like now. Everyone do it. Go on. See what happens. We've got one. I wonder if it'll stay on there though. Because even the likes on here disappear. But go on, press like, guys. See what happens. See if it goes up. Because there's only one at the minute. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting them. 3. Let's see if they stay on there. I'm very curious. Because technically that should be on there when I upload it. So, I don't know. But, oh, look at that. I've got more than I've ever had. Thank you. But I'm curious to see if they stay on there. I really am. But yeah, I do think it's because I'm not playing the game. I don't know if that. I'm presuming it is. And if they say it's because sponsors don't like it, well, I haven't got sponsors, so hey ho. Is yours not showing, Warwick? Who've we got? Who's liked? So Tiffany's liked. Jilly's liked. I've got 4. I can see 4. So that would be Hayley, Tiffany, Warwick, Jilly. Phil, have you pressed like? Because if Phil hasn't, that's the 4. I can see, I don't know how many yous can see, but I can see 4 likes. Oh, I feel quite excited in a way. It's showing up. Oh. I think I'm really disliked on the YouTube. Oh, wow. See, I can see 4. Just chilled out yesterday. Don't forget, I also don't work Sundays. Oh, so you have a Wednesday and Sundays as your weekend. Well, do you know what? Chilling out is a perfect weekend. You can't see me putting up my fingers. I'm doing like apostrophes over the weekend for your Wednesday. But yeah, chilling's as good as everything. Oh, leave him. Oh, Phil. I was just gonna say, Phil, have you popped a like? But yeah, I think they really dislike our little group. I do. I just think, I don't know if it's the content. I don't know if it's the facts. Oh, leave him alone. Phil, they're picking on you. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I'm so sorry. Well, it's not technically Warwick said to put the likes, but I'm fully endorsing that. So we'll the two of us will. Oh, dear. But yeah, I can't think of any other reason. I don't know what else I'm doing wrong. That's all I can think. Clearly looks Phil. He's not listening, is he? He's not listening at all. Oh, poor Phil. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not the only channel to use the correct words that we all know. I'm not the only person. So I don't know. And I don't care. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not playing that game with stupid words to replace words that we know the meaning of. Words have meanings. And I'm using the words that we associate with those meanings. I'm not switching them up. I'm not doing it. Look, I'm getting all angry now. I'm getting all annoyed. And it might not even be that. It might not even be that. Can't find the option. I don't know where it is for you guys. For me, it's at the top of my screen, but I don't know where it would be for you guys. For me, it's next to how many people are watching. Hi, Jessica. How are you? Oh, thank you for joining us. Hope you're okay. I was just saying, Jessica, pop a like on this for me. Just see if it shows up. Just press a like now for me. No, you're not. Just so many use the real words. It plays down people's trauma to use the other words. Oh, Jessica. Good go, chat, Phil. Yeah? Oh, do you think it's stuck, Warwick? I think he might be stuck, mightn't he? Because it took him ages to answer that question. He's either stuck or he's doing something else. Oh, we're glad too, Jessica. Yeah, I agree with that, Tiffany. It does play it down because people are spending so much time trying to work out what you could be referring to when you're saying grapes. It's like, it takes away from the point you're making. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not messing about with words like that. I'm refusing outright. So if that means no one gets to like my content or subscribe to it, then so be it. So be it. I'm very stubborn on this and I'm not bending. Well, would I bend if they banned me? Then you get the like button. Then I get the like button. Sorry, I'm being stupid. What is meant by the word grapes? Rape. There we go. I've said it. I've started. Oh, thank you, Phil. You have us. We're the best of all the people. You are the best of all the people. Sorry, Hayley. It was me saying grapes. It's grape, apparently. Because it's ridiculous. I'm not doing it. And I've already said the word now, so. No, you're not, Hayley. That's the point. That's my argument. It's like, if I were the victim, I would find it really offensive if someone said I had been grabbed. Thank you, Jilly. It's just ridiculous. And it's as Tiffany worded it. It takes it away. And I'm not doing it. I'm just not. There's so many stupid words out there now. Self-delete, on a live, grape, have you got a backup channel? Me, I have got another channel, but it's that was already flagged. I think that one's already been flagged because I think that one was what originally, like a couple of years ago, messed up this one. So I deleted everything off it. The channel's still live, but there's nothing on there. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Jilly. Yeah, I'm not doing it. It's all there is to it. And like you say, we've got our little group, and I'm happy with that. YouTube is about censoring words. Granted, there was time when there was no moderation. People were allowed. Yeah, it's gone too far. All right, yes, I can agree that at times, not really people's wording, but people uploading some very inappropriate, questionable content. I get that, but that was a very long time ago. It's been moderated, like, for quite a long time. And when I first started this channel, it was fine to use the word. I didn't even dream of changing words. And that was only 2019. I feel like 2020 just, don't get me on my soapbox about the old 2020. Please don't get me on the soapbox. But I feel like that time period had a lot to do with everything, the world. The only stupid one around here is me. No one is stupid. No one is stupid ever. Do you know why you're not stupid? Because you're on here. But I don't know. I was trying to be nice, and it ended up sounding really like arrogant. We can be deaf, blind, and stupid together. Not sure how YouTube works, but can you age restrict your channel? Simpletive channels kicked off, come back with different names. Yeah, people went bananas in 2020. Yes, there was a guy, because I know that there's a lot of channels that I watch where it was just their voices. So they'd put pictures up, but it was just their voices. See, believe it or not, even though obviously I'm quite obviously female, I can't, and I do appreciate you all listening to me, because I personally don't listen to a lot of female creators. Is that really bad? I don't, because a lot of the content I listen to is while I go to sleep, and a male voice is just easier to go to sleep. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? I'm sure I've said it before and it sounded bad then. But so there's a few of them that I'd listen to that you never knew what they looked like. There's Disturbing, This Is Monsters, there's Human Monsters, there's yeah, it's true. Worry, definitely shade. The Disturbing Truth. Now he's called Mr. Black, and fantastic. I am very sexist. I am. And I'll hold my hands up. I am anti. I've been watching far too much American content. Anti-feminist. I'm not a feminist at all. I think we all know that. I think you could tell that. I'm so confused. Sorry, Phil. I've gone off on my soapbox. That's all it is. There's a difference between keeping things appropriate and dictating people's words. 100%, Jessica. 100%. I couldn't have worded that better myself. That was ace. But yeah, don't be confused, Phil. I've gone off on a soapbox. That's all it is. I've gone off on from them trying to dictate what words we can use. But yeah. But Mr. Black's come back. I don't know if anyone used to watch. Is it? Oh, it is. It's 19 minutes. I'm so sorry, guys. But yeah, if ever you get the opportunity, The Disturbing Truth, he also ran with Law and Crime Network. He's back. Mr. Black's now. I can't think of his name now. He's come back as TM something. But he's fab. But that was in response to Warwick saying they bring back other channels. So that might be what I'd have to do. Is it? But I'm sorry, I'm doing it now. I'm starting. Sorry, guys, I'm starting. Okay, I'm starting. All right, this is what no one watches. Thank you all for sticking around. Me just rambling and going on my soapbox. Okay, I'm going to start. Okay, don't know if you know this story. All the laughing and joking, that's going to go from my face in about 3.5 seconds. So thank you all so much for joining me. And I am going to start now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's True Crime with Jess Rose. I am here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays are stories that I like to bring to you. I'm also over on TikTok, which is Jess Rose 5472, or you can join my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jess Rose 5472, or you can subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And then finally, now that I've got all that out of the way, you could just watch. I'd appreciate that just as much. So, okay, this evening's story is the horrific Emani Moss Story. Okay, it genuinely is. It's an awful case, as they all are. As I always say that, I feel like I'm just a broken record, but it really is. It's awful. Not a story I knew a lot about, which is what I like to bring to you on a Thursday. And yeah, it's, as I put in the title, it is, I didn't realise this was the name for it. I've heard of scapegoating within a family. I've heard of that term being used, but I haven't heard of the Cinderella effect. I've heard of bystander effect, but I haven't heard of Cinderella effect. Well, I have, due to this story, and that's what this is based on. Okay, so we've got Emani Gabrielle Moss, born the 23rd of April 2003. Okay, in Georgia, so it's an American story. All right. Now, her mum, Danita Leaks, her dad, Emani Moss. Okay, so you can tell she's named after her dad. We've got Emani, we've got Iman. So I've heard people pronouncing her dad's name slightly different, just so there's no confusion. I don't think there'd be a confusion. You've got Imani, you've got Iman. Quite obviously male and female, but so she's definitely named after her dad, bless her. Okay. Now, not long after she was born, I believe she's the youngest to Danita, only child to Iman, but youngest of 5 children to Danita. Okay, now Danita, she had a severe drug addiction. Okay, and it said that very soon after little Imani was born, she surrendered all parental rights to Iman. Okay, so he was given sole custody of his little girl pretty much straight away. All right, very sad. She let down by her own mum before she even got to know her, but based on the fact that I believe her drug addiction was so severe, she obviously saw it as the right decision. I don't know about the other 5 children who would be Imani's half siblings. I don't know about those children, so I can't comment anymore on those. Okay, now Imani herself, beautiful little girl, stunning little smile on her, gorgeous. Would loved her hair, and loved to have it in these pretty little braids. Sweet, kind. She was loved by Iman originally, and all of her paternal family, which is obviously Iman's family. And it just said, yeah, she was just a really sweet little girl, very clever, quite outgoing, and just a really sweet little girl. If you see the pictures of her, beautiful little princess. Okay, now as Imani got older, okay, Iman would bring her to church with him, and this was called the Freedom Christian Church. Okay, now Iman has been single since he's gained sole custody of Imani. I believe If there was any little flings in between, I'm not aware of them. But as for relationships, he hadn't. He'd remained single. Okay. So during one of these times that while they were at church, one of Iman's friends introduces him to a woman called Tiffany. Okay. Now, Tiffany, let me tell you a little bit about her. She's a preschool teacher, quite an intelligent lady. Seemed to be everything that Iman could want. She was church going, quite settled. Like I say, had this career. Being a preschool teacher, he thought, well, what's more ideal, with my little daughter? This was around 2007. So at this point, Imani's about 4. And after a few dates, he begins to introduce Imani to Tiffany, Tiffany to Imani, should I say. And it all seemed to go well at first. Okay, so they end up getting married in July of 2009. And at this point, Imani's age, she's about 6. Okay, well, she is 6, sorry. And as a couple, they do go on to have 2 children in quite quick succession. They have a little boy and then a little girl. I am aware of their names. Again, I'm not mentioning their names. I don't need to. So it's not relevant to the story at all. Okay. Now, but it was said that Imani absolutely doted on her half siblings. Absolutely doted on them. While she's in school, she'd talk about her little brother, and then when her sister came along, because they are half siblings. I've seen elsewhere where they're called step siblings. They're not, because these 2 children are Iman's children. As far as I know, everywhere I've looked. So I don't know why in some places I've seen their step siblings. So I'm just going to put that out there. But as far as I'm aware and everything I found, they are Iman's and Tiffany's biological children, which would make them Imani's half siblings. Okay, so now this should have been really the start of an amazing life for the once single dad and daughter. That's what it should have been. However, it's not that channel. We all know it's not that channel. Okay, unfortunately, right? But it turns out Tiffany she'd never been happy with bringing up what as she saw someone else's child, even though it's her new husband's child, because he didn't have Imani with her. I'm assuming it's no, I want no part of this, and it starts to become it wasn't straight away, obviously. I think at the beginning, he wouldn't have ventured into a relationship with Tiffany and certainly not married her if this had have come across earlier on. But what she would do, while Iman was at work, she would complain about Imani's behaviour. Basically, most of it relating to homework and that she wouldn't do her homework. Let me let you know, Imani's 6. She's 6 years old. But she would complain that she wasn't doing as she was told, type deal. Okay. So we get to March 2010. Now, like I say, she's age 6. Okay. Now, Imani, while she's in school, she becomes visibly upset when she's given her report card. Okay. And she goes to confide in the school nurse. Now, this is what I mean about this little girl. She's only 6. She knows exactly how to speak for herself and to put things across. And she goes to talk to the school nurse, and she basically says she's scared to bring her report card home and she doesn't want to. And of course, the school nurse is like, well, why? What do you mean? And she says she's scared that she'll be hurt, that she'll be beaten for bringing this so-called bad report card home. Now, the only negative thing on the report card, I believe, was relating to homework. Now, she's 6 years old, okay, and apparently Tiffany's gripe was also related to homework. But when you're 6, you need help with that homework. You don't just get on and get on with it yourself. You need help. You need guidance. You need advice. And so when the homework wasn't coming in or wasn't correct or whatever it was, this showed up on her report card, like I say. So when she advised the school nurse that she, how frightened she was, she'd be hurt, she'd be beaten, she then went on to tell the nurse that her stepmom, Tiffany, she'd hit her, she'd beat her with like a curtain rod. A curtain rod. She's 6. And also the buckle end of a belt. So, how many times do we hear that? The buckle end. Why are you hitting your kid with a belt anyway? But then just for the extra, let's do it from the buckle end, shall we? So when the nurse looks at Emani and she wants to check if she's okay, she sees that little Emani has got welts and bruises and abrasions all over her little frame. Okay, she's not a big girl, Emani, but she's the size of a 6-year-old. She's what you see as a 6-year-old, but she's quite a small frame, and she's just got bruises all over her. Like I say, welts on a 6-year-old's little body. And these injuries were on her back, on her arms, on her chest, on her shoulders, on her legs. This girl had been beaten top to bottom. What, because she couldn't understand her homework? Because this wasn't because of the report card. The report card hadn't even made it home yet. This was somehow related to homework. I mean, just ridiculous. So the nurse goes ahead and reports this to social services, child services, the equivalent of that in Georgia. Okay. Now, Tiffany's arrested. She's arrested and she's charged with 1st-degree child cruelty. This is how bad these injuries must have been. Okay. Now, I agree that this should be done every time, but we don't always hear that, do we? That they're actually arrested and charged. But this did happen, okay? Now, Tiffany's excuse from her part is, well, it only happened 2 or 3 times. Now, my mum was actually at work, and he received a call from the police station basically saying, we've got your daughter here, we've arrested your wife. So he's kind of blindsided because Eman works a lot of hours, and I don't know if he was choosing to turn a blind eye. I don't know if he agreed with this sort of discipline, but he insinuated he was shocked about it. Okay, so Tiffany pleads guilty, all right? And because she pled guilty, she's given 5 years probation, and her and Iman have to complete parenting classes. She has to complete anger management classes and so forth. But what also happens, if you remember, I did tell you that Tiffany was a preschool teacher. Well, she loses her job. Of course she does. How can she be in charge of someone else's children when she's beating a child at home? She loses her job. Oh, wow. If Tiffany had something out for Emani beforehand, she really does now. She doesn't take this well at all. Okay, so when Emani had been taken to the police station, though, when all of this happened. She was actually sent to live with her paternal grandmother, who's called Robin Moss. That's Emani's mum. Okay? Now, Robin loved Emani. Absolutely loved her. You know, and she took her in, and, you know, Emani's, you know, they said at school she started to thrive. Her whole behaviour started to change. She was much more upbeat. She was much more calm and comfortable. You know, she wasn't so tense. It was going really well with her living with her grandmother, and she did so for the next 6 months. Okay? And you might be like, well, why can't she just stay there? You know, she's happy. Tiffany obviously doesn't want her there. She doesn't want her there. She's happy with her own children, because when all this happened, the police did, you know, investigate her other 2 children, her biological children, if you like, and they were fine, perfectly healthy, not a mark on them. These children were very well looked after. Okay. So it's just quite obvious Tiffany doesn't want her there. Emani doesn't want to go back, but Iman, he fights to get Emani back. He wants his daughter back, and he talks to his mom and everything else, and his mom, Robin, she's like, just leave her here. You know, you've got the 2 kids there. You know, just, she's happy. Just leave her here. You can come and visit her here, but just leave her. Now, when Mom put it across that he felt he had something to prove to his mom. I don't understand that. You know, it was to prove that he could do it. What, you could do what? I don't know. Was it a guilt that he'd allowed this to happen to his daughter? I don't know. All I've heard, and it was actually out of his own mouth, was, I felt I had to prove this to my mum. It was kind of an ego thing. Okay. So now we get to September of 2010. At this point, Emani's 7. All right. Now, Tiffany, as I've said, 100% blames Emani for her losing her job. No accountability. Not, oh my God, I was being entrusted, you know, as a career for looking after other people's children, and I proved that I'm not capable of that, and that's why I've lost my job, and I'm going to do better. No. Nothing to do with her. It's Emani's fault. She should have kept her mouth shut. Should have just done her homework. It wouldn't have happened. This is kind of the mentality she was coming at it from. My God. Now, Emani is, after about 6 months, is returned to Iman and Tiffany. Now, as Tiffany's now out of work, which she is, and she doesn't return to work, she then becomes a stay-at-home mom. Okay. Iman is required. Yeah, he now needs to do 2 jobs, because they're no longer a two person. It's not a 2-person household. How do you say that? How do you word that again? A 2. You know what I mean? You know, a 2 career household. I'm not too sure. I know what the word's in. Anyway, he has to get 2 jobs in order for them to be able to live. Okay. Now, this was Iman's schedule. Sounds crazy. It was said under oath, so I'm assuming it's correct. But he would get up at 5 a.m. He would go to work. He would get back at 4:30 p.m. All right. He would be at home for about half an hour, 45 minutes. He would then leave for his second job at around 5 p.m, just after, and then he wouldn't get home till about 1 a.m. So if we're to believe that, this guy was working 19 to 20 hours a day. So then when he would get home, he was getting, 4 hours sleep before he'd get up and he'd start the whole thing again. All right. But he did only work only work, but he did only work Monday to Friday, all right? So he would see Emani at the weekends, okay? Now, because he was at work so much and for it's such long hours, he left all the childcare to Tiffany, not only of his 2 children he's had with her, but Emani as well. I don't know why he trusted her. I don't know what she said to him to excuse the welts and the bruises and the abrasions that were all over Emani. I don't know what excuses he made to himself or she made to him that made him think Emani would be safe with him being out of the house for 20 hours a day and completely entrusting his child to this woman. I know it's his wife. I don't care. Okay? So, now, although she's entrusted with Emani's care, and as I've said, she apparently loved her own 2 kids. She idolised these kids. They were well fed, they were well kept, they were well loved. Not so much for Emani. Emani didn't get to see that side of Tiffany. She didn't get to enjoy that side of Tiffany. Tiffany had no time for Emani whatsoever. Okay. Now we get to July of 2012. All right. And Emani's age 9 at this point, and she runs away from home. She's 9 years old. Okay. And she runs to the apartment manager. All right. And she tells them that she doesn't want to go home because Tiffany had just tied her up in the shower and held her under cold water in the shower, that she'd been getting beaten and that she was mean to her, and she doesn't want to go home. Okay. Now Tiffany, when she comes down, she's lowing, taking a notice of her, and apparently Tiffany was believed. I've no words. Now later on that was quite early on in July, all right? So later on in the month, Emani runs away again. So that's twice in a month, all right? And she runs, and fortunately, I think, or I don't know how you'd word it, but she's found later on, early hours of that going into the next day, in some bushes in an apartment complex, and she's found by a police officer, and she tells him, I don't want to go home. My stepmom, Tiffany, she's mean to me. She hurts me. And what he does, he files a runaway and curfew violation, okay? And it's a charge against Emani herself, and you might be like, hold on a minute. But the reason he does it, and I believe we've had this in another story I've done, he does it to try and ensure that she's brought before a juvenile judge, okay? Now, the problem with this is the Moss family, obviously Iman, Tiffany, the 2 kids, and little Emani, they're moving around a lot during this time period. Okay, it said between 2011 to around 2013, they move around a lot. Okay, and although the orders put out for Emani and child services are involved, it becomes a case of, oh, we can't find them, they've moved, we don't know where they are, and she just falls through the cracks again. Okay, now they would live with extended family, okay, during these moving around, but every time they would get a place where it's just them living there, people wouldn't see Emani, and they'd see she'd have bruises on her. She was becoming quite introverted from this quite outgoing little girl. She was becoming a lot more timid, was the word that was used. She was becoming thinner. She was losing a lot of weight. Okay. And we come to May 2013, and Emani's age 10. Okay. And they would go to visit Iman's family for Mother's Day. America's Mother's Day must be in May. Obviously, ours is March, April, but they go to visit. And it's actually his sister's home. His sister's called Sharonese, all right? And Robin, Iman's mum, is living with Sharonese, his sister, her daughter, okay, over this time period. So Iman takes his kids with Emani and, of course, Tiffany. And they go there for the day. And as soon as Robin and Sharonese see Emani, they just get the shock of their lives. They can't believe what they're seeing. Not only, as I've said, she's losing a lot of weight to the point where they said her bones were protruding through her shirt. All her beautiful hair. Do you remember I said she liked to have her hair in braids, and she loved the fact that she had long hair? All her hair had been cut off. She'd cut all her hair off. And Robin, upon seeing this, and also knowing how much Emani loved her hair, she went straight for Tiffany, and she's like, what have you done to her? Why have you cut her hair? And you want to know what Tiffany said? If you act ugly, you should look ugly. That was her response to the grandmother of this little girl. Now, all I can think is Iman, she would have said that to him. He would have saw that his daughter's, all her hair's been chopped off. But this man, I don't know what to make of him at all. Well, I do. He's just a sap, a complete and utter sap. That's the nicest word I can use for him. Okay. Now, this would be the last time the family, the extended family, would see Emani. All right. And when it was time for Emani to return to school, because this is the American summer holidays over this time period, Tiffany and Iman got in touch with the school and advised them that they would now be homeschooling Emani. Isn't that always, is that not red flag? I actually wrote here red flag 103 of this story, but it's one of the biggest ones. Oh my goodness. And when Sharonese, Iman's sister, so Emani's auntie, heard about this, she calls child services and she asks them to step in and to stop this. Because I think they had some sort of security, thinking that if Emani was going into school, that I think they were hoping that if she was getting worse, that the school would intervene. Well, they weren't going to get the opportunity to intervene anymore. And although child services were notified, they didn't do anything. Nothing at all. No surprise there. We get to the 6th of August 2013. There's an anonymous call made to child services saying that Emani was being neglected. Nothing done. Nothing done again. Can't find them. They're moving around. No real effort made to try and help this little girl, even though her stepmother, who she's living back with, was charged with abusing her. Now we come to the end of August in 2013, okay? And the family moved to Lawrenceville, Georgia, all right? To a new apartment. And Emani would never leave. Once she stepped foot in that apartment, she never got to leave it again. And for all intents and purposes, I've heard the term used, she just vanishes from the earth. No one sees her again, right? And because shortly after moving into this new apartment, and I would presume what was put across as a new fresh start for the family, Tiffany would begin in all earnestness to starve Emani. Now, given the fact she was so thin when Robin and Sharonese had seen her, this was already in process. But now she went all out. She just stopped feeding her. She just stopped. She just decided not to. Now, what she would do is while Emani was at work, she'd send pictures of the meals she was cooking. Oh, she would. Or she'd ask him to bring like cookie dough home so she could make cookies for the family. It was said the smell of those cookies being cooked would have been so traumatic for that little girl, so traumatizing, because she would have been in a lot of pain now from hunger pangs. She was not feeding her at all. And she was made to stay in her bedroom. She wasn't allowed to come out of her bedroom. Okay? And this went on over a period of weeks. She was starving her. And then it'd get to the point where she was becoming too weak to even get out of her bed. She couldn't even make it to the toilet. And she's just been left. She was just being left in her own waste. This is how bad it had gotten. And yeah, she would have just been in agony from the starvation. And imagine smelling cookies being baked, or just food in general. And hearing your little brother and sister running around and playing and being loved by their mom. And just being aware that that love wasn't for you. You weren't allowed that love. You had to stay in that bedroom till you couldn't physically move out of your bed anymore. Now we come to the 24th of October 2013, okay? Now Emani, on this particular day, he'd been at work, but he was having trouble with his truck. And he'd gone on to his second job. But when he got there, his truck really just clapped out. So his boss left him, his supervisor let him leave early to be able to fix his truck. So he limps the truck home and he's outside and he's fixing his truck. And he comes in to the apartment about 10 o'clock on the night. And he said he was quite dirty and he wanted to go in and clean up and stuff. And it was only then that Tiffany says, there's something wrong with Emani. She's in the bath. And when he goes into the bathroom, Emani is in the bath and she's in the middle of a seizure. He'd said that this would have been brought on by the starvation. Okay. It would have gone from hunger pangs to fatigue to now she's experiencing seizures. Her body's shutting down. Okay. And rather than calling 911, rather than doing that, okay, he didn't do that. He simply carries her out, gets her out of the bath, wraps her up, and carries her back to her bed. Her disgusting bed, by the way. And he puts her back to bed, where she, in the process of the next 4 days, is dying. This little girl is dying in her bed. She's 10 years old. And the most her so-called dad does for her, he tries to feed her. Now, I'm assuming he must have had a weekend where he could come back, where he was off over that time period. So he tried to feed her, but it was too little too late. there was, maybe if they'd have called 911 then, maybe they could have helped her. Maybe. They don't even know if she was beyond help then. But they, you know, he could have tried, but he didn't. And we come up to the 28th of October 2013, so 4 days later, as I've said. And Emani Gabrielle Moss died alone in her bedroom, age 10. For what? Why? Now, Tiffany calls him on at work and she just simply says she's gone. She's gone. And rather than rushing home, because he knew what she meant when she said that, rather than rushing home to see if there was anything he could do, he finished out his shift at work. And when he was asked about it, he said, well, they wouldn't have let me leave again. They wouldn't have let you leave to get home to your dead daughter. You think you don't think they'd let you go? Now I know we've got some brutal work, you know, laws out there and procedures, but oh my God, I think they'd have let you go. Now he finishes his shift, and when he comes back, he says he walked into what looked like a perfectly normal house. Tiffany's watching TV. His little son and daughter is running around, just playing. Perfectly normal situation that he walks into, okay? But then he goes into Emani's bedroom, and there she is on the floor, on like a blanket, quite obviously dead. He was asked, how did you know? He's like, she was dead. She was cold. So how long? We don't know. Now, he says he was going to call 911. He's going to do it again. He was going to call 911. Yes, he was. Of course he was. But then Tiffany said they'd lose their kids. They would lose their kids if he called 911. So, you know, they're in it now. What is it? They're in this criminal life now. That's what she said to him. So Iman moves Emani to the computer room, and he would leave her there for the next couple of days. And when he would come home from work, he would sit with her body. And he was said it was his period of his grief. It was while he was grieving over her. What? Okay. Now, then they decided, the two of them, they decide they're going to cremate. They're going to cremate Emani and then report her as a runaway. Just despicable. So when I was calling this man a sap, he was a sap probably up to about 10 minutes ago. Now, he's disgusting as hell. He's worse. Just like in these cases where it's a stepdad and you've got the mum allowing things to, you know, abuse to happen. Now we've got the dad allowing it. So in my mind, he's worse. So Iman then, he goes out and he buys a trash can, and he buys trash bags and charcoal and lighter fluid. What a set, eh? And we get to the 31st of October 2013, Halloween. Okay, so it's 3 days after Emani has died. And they then begin the process of trying to put Emani into a trash bag. His little girl. And rigor mortis. Her body's now in a state of rigor mortis. Okay. So they're trying to fold her into this trash bag. Okay. And they try duct taping her to get her in there. And when she doesn't quite fit, they then begin breaking her bones to get her into the bag. And once she's in a trash bag and this trash bag has been tied up, they then get all the bedding that had been soiled from her being left in her own waste. They get the clothing that she had been wearing and they put that in another trash bag. And then they put the trash bags in his truck along with the trash bin, the trash can that they bought. They put that in the truck. Then they get their 2 children, put them in the truck, and then they go on a drive to a secluded area, okay, to perform this cremation of his little girl. And they get out the truck and they put these charcoal briquettes at the bottom of the trash can, at the bin, bottom of the bin. They then take Emani out of the bag and they put her in the bin. Oh my God, saying these words. Oh God. Then he pours lighter fluid all over her and then he sets her alight. And quite quickly, he'd said about 5 minutes, they both begin to realise that, well, cremation isn't that easy. And it needs to be a lot hotter than what that trash can is. Okay? I've heard that it can take up to an actual cremation can take up to 90 minutes with all the correct equipment. Okay? And after 5 minutes, they're like, oh, this isn't going to work. But they burnt that little girl. So then they decide, right, okay, well, this hasn't worked. So they, all I can think is put the lid on the trash can, load it back onto the truck with little Emani in it. Beaten, broken, burnt, deceased, with her younger brother and sister in the truck. I mean, luckily, I believe they were very, very young. Very, very young. I believe that her brother was 3 at this time and the sister was younger. You know, so they wouldn't have been aware. But that, what kind of mentality to have? And they do this. They load the truck back up and they head back to the apartment. And they go back into the apartment and leave Emani's body in the trash can, in the truck. Oh my God. He then goes to work the next day with Emani's body in the truck, in the trash can. And while he's there, guilt starts to kick in, conscience. Oh, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Is it fear of being caught? Is it guilt? Is it conscience? I don't know. But he gets in touch with his best friend, who's apparently his cousin. And he confides in him what he's done. And of course, this best friend / cousin is like mortified and like, phone the police. But it still takes him till about 4 o'clock that morning before he decides he's going to do that. Now, all I can assume is he gave Tiffany the heads up that that's what he was going to do, which says to me he wasn't scared of her all along and he could have phoned the police all along. Now, Tiffany, she gets up, she packs her kids up, she gets them dressed, and she leaves the apartment and goes to her parents with the kids. Okay. Now, Iman phones 911 he says that he's suicidal. When the police come out, he says, look, my daughter had drank chemicals and she died, and we didn't know what to do, so we tried to cremate her. And then the police look to the side of him, outside the apartment, on like a grass verge, and there's this trash can. And they look in it, and there's the body of little Emani. Of course they arrest him there and then. Of course they do. Tiffany, after she'd dropped her kids off at her mum, she hands herself in. She knows that's it. Where's she gonna go? Okay. Now, the autopsy that was done on little Emani, obviously, what it showed is she was not just underweight, of course, she's severely underweight. To the point, I'm going to tell you what this little girl weighed. She was 10. She was 10 years old, and she weighed 32 pounds. She wasn't even 2.5 stone. My child at 18 months weighed that. Now, he was a big boy, I'll say that, and they do say that weight is the average, say, 3-year-old. I did have a big boy, but okay, average 3-year-old. She was 10, 32 pounds. It says that her organs inside were also very, very small. Her liver had actually been eating itself, and the pathologist, basically said she would have been in absolute agony. She would have been in terrible pain from the hunger. Apparently, it's a real crippling thing to go through before fatigue kicked in, and then the seizures, and then death. Oh, God. In 2015, Iman pled guilty. Okay, he took a plea deal to take the death sentence off the table, and he pled guilty to felony murder and concealing a death. He was given life with no parole. Plus, he also had to testify against Tiffany. Okay, so it took longer with Tiffany, and we come up to the 15th of April 2019. All right, before Tiffany's trial began. Now, Tiffany waived all defence lawyers. She wanted no public defence lawyers. She wanted no help. She was gonna defend herself. Yes, she was. I can defend myself. Okay. No. She hadn't studied law in any way, but she was going to defend herself. Now, apparently she was supposed to represent herself, but when it comes to the opening statements at the trial, and I've watched the opening, I've watched the closing, I've watched hours of this trial, she doesn't say a word. She doesn't make an opening statement. She doesn't cross-examine any of the 18 witnesses that were brought forward. She doesn't bring any witnesses of her own. No character witnesses, no one. She doesn't make a closing statement. And I mean, the prosecution's closing statement was, it was scathing. It was, I thought she was fantastic. The prosecution district attorney was called Lisa Jones. Thought she was great. But on the 29th of April 2019, she's found guilty of malice murder, felony murder, cruelty to children, and concealing a death. Okay? And very quickly, she was sentenced to death. I'm so happy about that. He should have been too, but he took a plea deal. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know what her her mind frame was. I don't understand. I don't get her decision. But she's the only woman in Georgia on death row at the moment. Now, she's still exhausting her appeals. And it's only since the appeals then she's decided that she now wants representation. I don't know why not at the original trial, but do-gooders have come forward and gone, well, she wasn't in the right mind. She can't have been in the right mind if she wanted to represent herself, so that trial needs to be null and void kind of thing. Now, I haven't got any news on that. No decision's been made on that at the moment. So she's still on death row. And like I say, she's the only woman in Georgia on death row at the moment. Obviously, if I do have any updates to these appeals, I will let you know. I genuinely hope these appeals go nowhere. I don't know how any of this can be argued whatsoever. I really don't. Now, the two kids, Aman and Tiffany's biological children, little Amani's half siblings, they were taken into foster care from Tiffany's mum's house. Do you remember that's where she dropped them? They were taken into foster care, and then there was a fight between Iman's family and Tiffany's family to try and take custody of these children, but it wasn't agreed, and I understand why. I do, in a way, because you know, they're so young that they can be distanced from what's happened, from the trauma of what happened, and the foster parents that actually took them in have now adopted them, and their names and all their details, those records have been sealed by the court. So all I can hope is that they do go on to have, a good life, and it does say that they are doing well. The two children are, but that's it. That's all I know about them. That's why I haven't mentioned their names. Like I say, in the trial, their names are used. There's no reason to mention their names whatsoever. I mean, I would presume their names have maybe been changed now, but yeah, that was the Horrific Emani Moss Story. And she just such a beautiful little girl. And it just, everything you see about just teachers, everyone who spoke about us just said she was just a delight, just a beautiful little girl. What a shame. And apparently this is called the Cinderella effect. I don't know what the difference is between that and the scapegoat, and it's still a child that you're zoning in on, that you're singling out for a punishment, whether it's physical, starvation, mental, neglect, whatever it may be. The end result always seems to be the same in these stories. So, but that's what they've called it. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I genuinely do appreciate it. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. If you'd like to pop a like or subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Take care. How are we, guys? I couldn't see any comments. Oh, thank you. I couldn't see any comments in that. It just stopped. How are we all doing? What was her name again, too? What are we talking about, guys? Have we all been playing nicely? Have we been playing nicely? Why did I say her name wrong? Did I say her name wrong or something? Why have you put her name up again? Thank you, Phil. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Awful, wasn't it? Just when you think you know the depravity out there it's just it just gets worse. It always does. What's that? You have been my rock and my ally, Phil. Just, oh, thank you, Warwick. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just awful. What have we been doing though? Have we been playing nice? Have we? Have we? I don't know. I can't tell. Why does Jessica need an ally? Who does she need an ally from? Is it you, Warwick? Have you been naughty? No, sis. Not at all. Warwick was trying to test me and failed. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I don't know. I'm not getting involved. I don't know what's gone on. I need to read the comments back after, and he won't let me read them now because he only lets you go up so far. We've been playing crazy in a fun and good way. Okay, fair enough. That's good. Is that a back alley, Jessica? A back alley? What? You've been a rock alley, yeah. I did think that, Warwick. I even says ally. Jess, me and you are now girlfriends with 12. Okay, hang on, let me have a look. Well, Jess, me and you are now girlfriends with 12 children between us. Your friend Tyler came back asking you for a date. Stop it, was he back? Did he come back? No. Did he? The comments stopped showing. I didn't see anything. They stopped literally as I started the story. I didn't do it. He just picks and chooses sometimes. Sometimes he'll keep showing them, and then other times he doesn't. Might be a blind alley. Hi, Mum. How you doing? Oh, I can't believe he was back. That's hilarious. Oh, that's so funny. I honestly, I didn't see anything. I never saw his comments. Did you not worry? What is going on? I didn't see them either, though. That helps. Me either. Jessica, I wonder if he's... Do you know, I wonder if he's only sending them to me, but Tiffany and Hayley can see them because they're moderators. Is that quite obvious? And I've tried to make it sound like I've done like Scooby and the Gang. Yes, you're not a lesbian with 12 children. I'll take it. I'll take that. Why 12 though? That's a lot. Can't hear you, Jess, but love you anyway. Love you. Mum, I told you Mum doesn't listen to me. She doesn't listen to me at all. Love you. Ah. But yeah, why 12 children, Hayley? Hello, Mrs. Murphy. How the hell are you? Mrs. Murphy as well. Not even Shazza McKnuckles. That's very nice of you, Warwick. Yeah, I'm not... I can deal with the lesbian. I don't know if I fancy having 12 kids, though, I've got to say. You've got 9. Hayley has... Why have I got 9? That's mental. Tiffany. Good, Mr. Warwick, thank you. Oh, I do not want... Why couldn't I just have the 3? Why did I have to have the 9? Are you all lesbians or joking? Because I didn't know what to think. Oh, Jessica, no, we're not. Did you really think? No, we're not. I gave you them. Be grateful. Okay, I'm grateful, but can I give them back now? Can I give them back to you? Can you please stop talking about lesbians? Warwick, I'm no part of this. Apparently, I just have that label now. But I don't know. See, all of it I'll accept, but the 9 kids, come on. That's crazy. 9 children. No, I couldn't. Even in my imagination, I couldn't even babysit 9 kids. It just drove me crazy. Well, it depends what age they were, I suppose. But 9, that's a lot. That's a lot for anyone. But I take it he's disappeared now anyway. We do. We're British. Well, we're English, Jessica. English, Irish, Scottish. A couple of them. So yeah, we do have different senses of humour. No, you have them now. Nothing we can do unless you put them in the bin. Tiffany! I nearly said that. Laugh that up. Laugh it up. Oh, we've gone dark tonight. We have gone dark this evening, haven't we? Yous are terrible. That's awful. Don't even know what to say to that. I bet you are. I bet you are. Laugh that up. Nearly bloody said that out loud. Thanks for that. Forgive me, because I don't always tell from a joke. That's okay, Jessica. We do have very dry senses of humour, and we don't tend to laugh when we're joking. So that I can understand why it's quite hard, to be honest. I do try to laugh when I'm joking, but sometimes I can hold a straight face. I know, I might drop in everything else along with it as well, Hayley. Yes, you did. There was a lot going on there. Anyway, just to let you know, while I've got you, before Phil nudges us into the jingle, I'm not here on Tuesday. I think I did mention it. Was it last week or the week before? So I'm not here on Tuesday. We've got something happening on Monday. I'm both a funny and serious kind of girl, with my serious side talking sometimes. That's okay. We all have different sides, Jessica. Do you know what? You're coping well with this group, so, you know, God, I'm totally lost with this whole conversation. Phil, I was too. Phil, I came into this at the end. So I am too. But apparently I am a lesbian with 12 children. Well, 9 children. That's all I know. That's all I know about this conversation. That's it. But yes, so I won't be here on Tuesday, guys. But I will be back on Thursday with you. With another story. You've got a star. You're on fire this evening, ain't you? Something wrong with you this evening, I tell you. But yes, anyway, I'll be back on Thursday next week. So did you see? I don't even know if I'm being listened to. I don't even know if anyone's listening to me. But yes, so no live on Tuesday, but back this time next Thursday. Well, 8 o'clock next Thursday anyway. Not this time, but next. Jess can't make. Why can't you make it Thursday, Warwick? Why? Where will you be? It's okay. It's okay. Do you know? Don't stop. But if I say it out loud, I'm going to take a picture of your comment. Oh, night, Mum. Good night. Thank you for coming in. Loved you. Thank you, Mama. We'll be busy at the tip. Oh, she's off again. Why can't you make it Thursday, Warwick? Tiff, I'm reporting you to Mrs. Murphy. Reporter Phil. Do it. She's been brutal. She's been really naughty tonight. She really is. I don't know what you have done. You've rolled her up. I don't know if it's her rolling yous or yous have rolled her, but whatever's happened. So if I say it out loud, Tiffany. Oh, Jessica, that's very sweet. What comment? No, you said you can't make it on Thursday. Warwick, why can't you make it on Thursday? Oh, Tiffany, not you, Warwick. Tiffany. Don't, Phil. She'll put me in the trash can as well. You had to do it, didn't you? You had to do it. I'm pretty sure I said it quietly, but I'm pretty sure I said it. Right, that's it. You watch. I'm going to tag you in. When I play this back, I'm putting your comment there. That's what I'm going to do to what I repeated. She thinks she's funny, Warwick. I'm tired, I can't help it. She thinks she's really funny, she does. She really thinks she's hilarious. She's been really dark humorous, but very funny. But no. Anyway, jingle time, guys. But why can't you make it anyway Thursday, Warwick? Tell me before I go. Okay, so thank you all so much for liking, though. And thank you for that comment, Jessica. It's really sweet. Thank you to Tiffany and Hayley and Phil and Warwick and Jessica and Jilly. Did I see someone else? There was someone, my mum. I'm sure I did see, and I'm sure I did see someone else earlier on. Jessica. I've said Jessica, haven't I? Jessica. Did I? Everyone, thank you all so much. Got a Dutch girl. Oh, okay. Excellent. Oh, I'm excited for you, Warwick. Oh, that's good. Eva's coming. I don't know what this is. But I'm very excited for you. Oh, okay then, Warwick. Well, because I've annoyed him too much. Is it you, Phil? Have you done it? But I'm excited for you, Warwick. What was I going to say though? I was going to say, yes, so I'll see you, not next week then, the week after. I'll see you the Tuesday after then. But I'm so excited for you, Warwick. That's fabulous. And Phil, hopefully I'll see you next Thursday, and Jessica and Jilly and my moderator extraordinaires. And yeah. Oh, you could just like, comment, subscribe, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Look, comment, subscribe. Do you see how my face has calmed down? It's starting to go. It's still very red though. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. And I will see you. Oh, is Phil your YouTube hubby? Fat Eva's over. Oh, is she fat? Is she a fat Eva? Excellent. Oh, I love that she's fat Eva. Your comments are very behind. Who's? Oh, I don't know. I've lost my bearings. But good night, Jess and Phil and Warwick and Tiffany and Hayley and Jilly if she comes back. But thank you. And Warwick, chub her cheeks. Chub her fat Eva's cheeks. Is she? Excellent. Just grab her cheeks. I love a chubber. I love a chubber baby. But, oh, well, fabulous. Well, you'll all have a good time then. So all have a good weekend. And I will see you all. Enjoy work, Phil. And I will see you all next week. Take care. And I'll see you the week after, Warwick. Take care, guys. Love yous. Fingers still on the screen.